Happy Friday to everybody. Hope you are ready for the weekend coming up. Excited about the weekend, whatever. We are at the final game of the June 20th schedule. Game number 460 overall on the replay. It's Texas Rangers and the Oakland A's, or Athletics, however you prefer to refer to them. Say that 3 times fast. We're at the Oakland Coliseum, where it's a pitcher's park, so singles are only 1 to 3, home runs 1 to 5. So good luck on your ballpark checks for your batters on that one. Pitching matchup, Bobby Witt, the other Witt, Bobby Witt for Texas, right-hander against Kurt Young, a left-hander for the Oakland A's. Kurt Young 7-4 on the replay so far, and we'll get to his numbers shortly. The Oakland A's, one surprise teams in this replay, still in first place, 39-25. Texas mired near the bottom, 25 and 30. In fact, I think they are at the bottom. Seattle has surpassed them. So Texas is at the bottom, 25 and 37. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Dr. D. A little bit late start than what I wanted, but had some stuff going on this morning. So about 15 minutes or so later than I'd planned, but we're here. We got our Oakland A's colored dice. Decided to go with the Oakland A's colored dice today just for the heck of it, just to be different. Mix things up a bit. And of course, standard fare is the coffee, so we can have the ceremonial first sip. And that is some good coffee. So let's get this ball game going here from Oakland. Tony La Russa's Oakland A's against Bobby Valentine's Texas Rangers to complete this Saturday schedule. And next week we'll head into June 21st on a Sunday afternoon and play those games. So let's get the full numbers on Kurt Young. Look at his real season numbers in 1987. 13-7 with a 4.08 ERA. On the replay, he is 7-4 with a 3.56 earned run average. 91 innings pitched, 76 hits, 29 walks, and 59 strikeouts on the replay. His hold, he is a -3 hold, so -3 here because Steinbach's a 0, so he's a -3. Wild pitch and balk are both low, 2 apiece, so not much chance of that happening. And we'll get to Witt's numbers on the bottom of the first inning. The only number I didn't put in was the pass ball number for Steinbach, and his pass ball is a 7, so complete that for Oakland. Leading things off will be Jerry Brown, switch hitter. He will bat from the right-hand side against the left-hander Kurt Young. Jerry Brown, nicknamed the Governor, I believe, after the Governor of California. Jerry Brown on the replay is hitting .269, a homer and 15 driven in. He hit .271 real world. And the ceremonial first sip was so good, I think I'll do it again. All right, here is Jerry Brown. Start us off. 2-9, and that's going to be a leadoff walk for Jerry Brown. See if he challenges that -3 hold. Why not? Let's look at Brown's stolen base numbers on the season and on the replay. On the season, Jerry Brown stole 27 bases, got caught 17 times. On the replay, he stole 17, got caught 8 times. So he's going to try for the lead. Needs a 2 or a 4 through 9 to get the lead. And 11, he's caught. That's a 10, so nothing there. Just stand still. Couldn't get a lead. So he'll hold. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Scott Fletcher. Fletcher on the replay, hitting .322, a homer and 35 driven in. He hit .287 real world. 6-12, right-hander ground ball, first base C. So McGuire has to range and get it. The only play is to throw it to Kurt Young covering. Brown will take second base. So kind of a pseudo sacrifice there. And that will send up Ruben Sierra. Sierra on the replay, hitting 286, 19 homers, 47. Oh, my throat's kind of getting dry here. Let me try again. 286, 19 homers, 47 driven in at 263 real world. Maybe it's the after. I mowed the grass yesterday. Maybe it's the after effect of all that pollen that's still out there, kicked up. When I came back inside, I was covered in yellow. My blue jeans, my old faded blue jeans were faded yellow jeans. That's how bad it was. All right. So here is Sierra. 3-8 against the lefty. That's a 1-2 single, but that's a 20. So he's going to line it right to the shortstop, Alfredo Griffin, for out number 2. 2 down, and now we got a clutch situation for Larry Parrish, designated hitter. Parrish hitting 249 on the replay, 11 homers, 32 driven in. He hit I believe it was 268. Yeah, 268 real world. In the clutch for Parrish against the left-handers, he will gain a hit. Actually gain several hits. 1-2, 2-4, and 2-10, along with 3-10 and 3-11. So he gains 5 hits in the clutch against left-handers. His average goes up immensely in the clutch situation. So Young's got to be careful. That's a 1-5, but he doesn't hit it. He hits a strikeout instead, and that's going to end the inning. So Young pitches around the walk. Then we go to the bottom of the first. It is Texas 0, Oakland coming to bat. And on the mound is right-hander Bobby Witt. Witt in the real season 8-10 with a 4.91 ERA. He's only had a few starts. He's won in the replay. He's only had a few starts. He's 1-1 with also a 4.91 ERA, right on the number. 29 innings pitched, 29 hits, 27 walks, 26 strikeouts. If you know anything about Bobby Witt, you know he walks a lot of guys, and his walk to strikeout ratio is pretty much 1-to-1. In the real season, it was 140 to 160, but on the replay so far, it's pretty much dead even 1-to-1. In fact, he's walked one more than he struck out. So Bobby Witt, and also not very good at holding runners. He's a +9, which makes him a +5. So having the +1 from slot doesn't really matter. So he's a +5. So that means Oakland base runners will be looking to run a lot. And he's got a wild pitch of 10 and a balk of 6. So he'll face Luis Polonia. Hello, Robert. Good morning to you. So Luis Polonia is your leadoff man. He is hitting 275, 2 homers, 7 driven in. He hit 267, was it 287 or 267? He hit 287 real world. My eyes from my seat to my computer screen, the numbers on the Strat, the little box there for the numbers are kind of small, so I've got to double clutch with my eyes here to make sure I can read everything. Here's Polonia 1-8 against Bobby Witt. He's going to fly to center field. That's hauled in by McDowell. 1 away. And that will bring in Mike Davis, the right fielder. Mike Davis hitting 288 on the replay, 13 homers, 42 driven in. He hit 265 real world. 311 for Davis. That's a ballpark blast. Unfortunately, we're in Oakland. But fortunately for him, the double die's a 1, so it doesn't matter. Mike Davis goes yard. Home run number 14 on the replay. He only had 22 real world, but he's got 14 already. As he's barely halfway to his at-bat total. But when you get rolls like that where the double die shows up as a 1, that kind of helps you. So again, 311, right-hander against the right-handers, a ballpark blast. It's 1-5, and that double die is a 1. Home run 14, RBI number 43, and the Oakland A's take a 1-0 lead, courtesy of Mike Davis. Here's Carney Lansford. Carney Lansford, third baseman, hitting 285, 9 homers, 36 driven in. He hit 289 real world. 5'11", and that's a base on balls for Bobby Witt. Nothing unusual there. Those walks will get him in trouble. Lansford now looking to run. He's got a 2 through 5 to get the lead, and he got that +5 from Bobby Witt. He could even go without the lead. That's a 3. He's going to get the lead anyway. So 18 being held as a 16. So basically, it's pretty much automatic. The only way he's out is on a 20. And he's in there. So didn't even get the best of jumps, but he still makes it. Stolen base for Carney Lansford. And we'll get the numbers on Lansford for stolen bases, both on the season and on the replay. Carney Lansford on the 87 season. Where'd you go here? 87 season for Lansford. He stole 27 bases, got caught 8 times. On the replay, this was stolen base number 8. He's been caught twice. So he's on second base. Nobody out for Mark McGwire. McGwire hitting 286 on the replay, 21 homers, 47 driven in. He hit 289 real world. 6-2, and that's a strikeout for Bobby Witt. That's another thing Bobby Witt does well, is strike people out. So we got a walk and a strikeout early on. Nothing surprising there. That'll bring up Jose Canseco. Canseco hitting 273 on the replay, 15 homers, 42 driven in. He hit 257 in the real season. We got a 1-6, and Canseco's out on strikes, so back-to-back strikeouts for Bobby Witt. 2 down, and I don't see Kathy in the chat yet, but her favorite player, Hot Dog Reggie Jackson, is up as a designated hitter. Reggie hitting 244. I'm sorry, I've got the wrong. Is that the third out? That was the third out. So Reggie's going to lead off next inning. My bad. That was the third out. Can't give Oakland 4 outs, can we? All right, good thing I had the computer, because Pete Incavilla was sitting up there ready to hit, and I had Reggie Jackson there. So let's fix that real quickly. So Incavilla will lead things off for Texas against Kurt Young. Incavilla hitting 244, 13 homers, 38 driven in. He hit 271 real world. 1-6 for Incavilla, and that's a 1-11 double, and that is an 11. So a leadoff double for Pete Incavilla. That is his 12th double of the replay. He had 26 of them real world. But again, the 1-6 split chance, 1-11 is a double, and that is an 11. So that brings up Pete O'Brien, first baseman. O'Brien hitting 287 on the replay, 13 homers, 33 driven in. He hit 286 real world. 5-7 left-handed. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Alfredo Griffin. He's a 2E29. Whoa. Good thing for him that was an invalid roll, because the white die didn't go through, because that was a 1. That would have been a base hit. Let's re-roll it. Get all of them through here. 7, he's got a better chance. He's a 2 and a 7, so I think he can actually get to that. The runner might make third, but at least he'll get to it, I do believe. 2 and a 7. Yep, it's a G2. Actually, I might freeze the runner on a G2. But that's a 15. That can be problematic. E29 and a 15 at shortstop. Nope, no 15. There's an 11, 3, 17, and 8, and 16. I'm sorry, 18. So it's a G2. And if we check the G2 with the runner on second, G2, it says right. So if it's hit to the right side of the infield, runners advance. If it's hit the short pitcher or catcher, it's a decide factor. Well, Incavilla with nobody out and doesn't run well, he's going to decide to hold up. That's what he's going to decide. So he will just freeze right there at second base. 1 away. And that'll take us to Don Slaught, the catcher. Slaught hitting 265 on the replay, 6 homers, 18 driven in. He only hit 224 real world. We got 6-5 against the right-hander, and that's a ground ball second base C. That'll get Incavilla to third. But now they're 2 away. And had he risked it in the previous at-bat and made it, he would have scored there, but he would have probably been out most likely. So early on, you don't want to take that risk. Here's McDowell now, a clutch situation for McDowell with 2 outs and a runner at third. In the clutch against left-handers, McDowell will gain a hit on 2-3, and that's it. That's his only addition. On the replay, he's hitting 219, 4 homers, 20 driven in. He hit 241 real world. 212, and that's a low max with injury, so it's possible that O-Matic McDowell will have to leave this ball game as he lines it right to the second baseman, Tony Phillips, to end the inning. But there's an injury possibility attached. Game-only injury, because we are doing as played, so game only, but I do allow game-only injuries. So again, in case you're new or haven't seen it in a while, when I do injuries, I use this chart. Anything 6 or less, he stays in the game. 7 or higher, he's got to come out. That's 13, so McDowell will have to leave the game. So it looks like they'll bring in Bob Brower to take over in center field. He usually plays against lefties a lot anyway, so I'm kind of surprised he wasn't in the starting lineup to begin with. So Bob Brower will take over in center field for the injured McDowell. Bob Brower, center field in the second inning. 3-1 and a 14, whereas McDowell was 3+1 and a 5. So not quite as good defensively, obviously, but he does bat right-handed, so maybe that'll help them out offensively. And now I'll make that change on the computer as well, but right before I forget to start the next inning, Bob Brower taking over for O-Matic McDowell in center field. Now we start at the bottom of the second, and now in his rightful turn at bat is Hot Dog Reggie Jackson, designated hitter. Hot Dog Jackson hitting a cool 198 on the replay, 12 homers, 32 driven in. He hit 220 real world. 3-9 for Reggie, and he's going to strike out. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Bobby Witt going back to the previous inning. He's got that strikeout pitch working. Here's the catcher, Terry Steinbach. Steinbach is hitting 281 on the replay. 3 homers, 11 driven in. He had 284 real world. 3-3, and that's a fly to right with a possible injury for Terry Steinbach. Boy, the injury gods are not helping these teams right now. So again, 1-6, he stays in the game. He does not. Terry Steinbach will leave, and now Kurt Young will have to throw to a new catcher. They're going to have to go to Mickey Tettleton for Steinbach. Tettleton will catch in the third inning. So Steinbach flies to right, and he felt something running down the first baseline, so he's going to have to leave. And switch hitting Mickey Tettleton will take over for Steinbach. 2 out bases empty for Tony Phillips, second baseman. Phillips hitting 235 on the replay, 3 homers, 25 driven in. He hit 240 real world. 3-9, and that is a line out to second base, and that's going to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down go the A's. We played 2 complete from Oakland, and it's 1-0 Oakland on the Mike Davis home run. That's the only dent on the scoreboard at the moment. So now we're going to go to the computer and bring in the new catcher, Mickey Tettleton. So Tettleton will be coming on. Oakland didn't have that great of a bench to begin with. They have Ron Say, Stan Javier, and Johnny LeMaster. Those are the only 3 left on the bench. So they don't have they got a deep bullpen, but not a deep bench. So they will hope for fewer injuries going forward. Top of the third is Steve Buechele, third baseman. Buechele hitting 239 on the replay, 7 homers, 29 driven in. He had 237 real world. 4-10, and that's a ground ball third base X. Lansford, 3-E-8. 3-7, he'll get to that. E8, and that is a 9. Third base, E8, there is no 9 there, so it's a good play for Lansford. 1 away. Time for some more coffee while Jerry Brown gets ready to hit. Brown walked his first time up, but was stranded at second base. 1-7 against the lefty. That's a 1-5 home run, and that the Devil Die shows up again. He does have weak power, but he did hit one home run real world. It was against a lefty, and he just found it. That's the only home run he could possibly hit in the game. Is a 1-7 with a 1-5 on the D20, and he found the magic formula with that Devil Die. So Jerry Brown, and he's exceeded his home runs already. He hit one home run real world in 454 at bats. In 454 at bats, he hit one home run. This is his second home run in at bat number 198. So he's not even halfway there, and he's already got twice as many home runs. Kind of weird how that happens. Home run number 2 for Jerry Brown. We're tied at 1 apiece, but the Devil Die being a 1 in both cases. Both home runs a result of a 1. So it was actually halfway between 1 and 13, but I think it was more on the 1 side. So we are tied at a run apiece. And here comes Scott Fletcher. Dan, it might be because I switched dice and went to the green one. Maybe the green is like a gremlin or something. I don't know. And we need to go back to my standard red and white black combination. Here is Scott Fletcher. 1-5 for Fletcher. It's a ground ball to third. 2 down. 2 away. Don't forget, tomorrow, being Saturday, is the NBC game of the week, and it will be live this time now since I don't have any more computer issues. Fall Classic Baseball, 1979. Baltimore Orioles at the Milwaukee Brewers. I believe the pitching matchup is Dennis Martinez against Jim Slayton. It was a game played April 14th, 1979. For the NBC game of the week, roughly around noon tomorrow, Eastern. Here's Sierra. 1-6, and that's a line out to first, and that's going to end the inning. But Texas gets on the board thanks to the Jerry Brown home run. And we go to the bottom of the third, 1-1. Witt back out, and he'll be facing the 9th place hitter, Alfredo Griffin. Griffin hitting 257 on the replay, a homer and 20 driven in. He hit 263 real world. 3-9, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for Bobby Witt. Flip the order back over to Polonia. He flew to center his first time up. 5-5. Left-hander is another strikeout. So Bobby Witt with strikeout number 5. And only 1 walk so far, which has helped him out quite a bit. But here's Mike Davis. He homered for the Oakland run in the first inning. 6-7. This time, Witt pitches carefully to him and walks him. Second walk of the game for Witt. And Davis will be looking to run. 2 through 5 gets in the lead. Does not get the lead. He will hold. Here's Carney Lansford. That's a 4-10 for Lansford, and that's a strikeout. So Bobby Witt, strikeout number 6. He struck out the side. And in 3 innings, he's got 6 strikeouts. So at the end of 3 complete, it's still 1-1 here at the Oakland Coliseum. I think they called it the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum back in 1987. Kurt Young. Of course, sadly, there is no more Oakland Coliseum baseball, or I don't know if they're demolishing the building or what they're doing, but the A's are now in Sacramento, so interesting. I did not buy the new Strat season, so I don't know what the ballpark effects are for the Sacramento stadium. I don't know if hitter friendly or pitcher friendly or whatever. All right, here's Larry Parrish. 4-9, and that's a double 1-14. And again, the double die is a 1. So, well, it's coming up 1 more than the 5%. That's for sure. At least it is today. Might be that. You know what, Dan, we're going to borrow your suggestion here. And we are going to take that die out and replace it with that one. So green die gets changed out. We got a new green die now. See if that makes any difference. It might make it worse. Who knows? Here's Pete Incaviglia, and it comes up with a 1 the very first time. Probably a bad move to change that out, but it came up with 1 the very first time. Fortunately for Young, his wild pitch range is only a 2, but if this comes up as a 1 or a 2, then I know something's screwy. Up 14, so he's okay there. All right, here's Incaviglia. 1-9 for Incaviglia against a lefty is a ballpark blast, but that's a 16, so no cheap home run on the ballpark blast this time with a 1. That's just going to be a fly to left. And there's 1 away. 1 down for Pete O'Brien, first baseman. Parrish, not much speed at second. 4-5 for O'Brien against the lefty for Kurt Young is a pop to short. 2 down. So Young trying to pitch around the leadoff double. He's 2/3 of the way there, but he does have to deal with Don Slaught in the clutch. And Don Slaught in the clutch will lose a hit on 110, and I think that's it. That looks to be it. That's a 2-8, and he's going to ground to short, and that's going to end the inning. So Kurt Young pitches around that leadoff double and gets out of the mess. Go to the bottom of the 4th, still tied at 1. It's expecting a higher scoring game than this. But you never know. We still got, 5 innings to go? 5.5? So Bobby Witt out, and he'll be facing McGuire. McGuire struck out his first chance. That's a 4-11, and that's a fly ball left field X. We're looking at Incaviglia. He's a 4E16, so not the best fielder in the world. 4E16 for Incaviglia. 4-11 should be okay. No, it's not actually. 4-11 is actually going to be a single. It will drop. That's an 11 there, and he's an E16. There's a 12 and a 13, but no 11. So it won't be an error, but it will be a base hit for McGuire as it drops in front of Incaviglia. That's what you get when you have a 4 range out there in the outfield. A lot of things drop in front of you or get over your head or whatever the case may be. Here's Canseco. Struck out his first time also. 3-8, and he's going to strike out again. Strikeout number 7 for Bobby Witt. And that'll bring up Hot Dog Jackson. (1-9) ground ball second base A. That's a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play. 463. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. Be sure to check them out if you're in that area. Tell them Demo sent you. They'll give you a discount. They are the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but they are the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play of the game. And we just saw a tailor-made double play right there, 463. And we go to the 5th inning, still tied at a run apiece. Kurt Young back out will face the new center fielder, Bob Brower. This will be his first at bat since coming in for the injured McDowell. Brower on the replay is hitting .294, 2 homers, 16 driven in. He hit .261 real world. It's a 6-2, and that's a ground ball first base C. So again, McGuire will range to get it and flip to Kurt Young covering for the out. 1 away for Steve Buechele. Buechele rounded to third his first trip. 2-8 for Buechele, and he's going to do better than that this time. Look, now this is the opposite, Dan. We got a 20 here. 1-19, he gets a double. The only way he gets a single is on a 20, and we got a 20. So it's like the anti-first screen die. Now it's leading to 20s versus 1s. So it will limit Buechele to a single. 95% chance of a double, but he gets the 5% for the single. So these D20s have minds of their. Maybe they need to go back to the to those things that Strat used to have, those little strips of paper or cards or whatever they call them. Decks, I think they call split deck. I think it's what they called it. Maybe need to go to split deck. That's my next. That's my only alternative if this all fails is go to split deck. And I do have some split decks from old sets. So I guess I could go to the split deck if need be. As it is, Buechele's at first, no threat to run. And here's Jerry Brown. He homered his last time up, amazingly. 5-4, switch hitter batting right-handed. Fly ball center field X. We are looking at Polonia, 3E9 for Polonia. 3-16, he'll get to that. E9 and a 10 shouldn't be a problem. It is not. So it's a fly to center. Now this pollen is getting to me. I'm getting congested. I'm starting to sound like Kip Scary now, unintentionally, with the nasally voice. Here's Scott Fletcher. .510, and that is an straight up in home run on a .510. You don't need a D20 for this one. You can remove the D20 all the way. .510 is clean, in home run. However, Fletcher's a weak hitter, so it will not be a home run. It will be a single, 2 stars. So Kurt Young catches a break big time. The fact that Fletcher was a weak power hitter. Puts runners on the corners. So Fletcher is there, 2 down for Ruben Sierra in a clutch situation for Sierra. Sierra in the clutch against lefties. Loses a hit on a 3-4. Everywhere else he is neutral. 1-7, and that's a ground ball to third, and that'll end the inning. So Young, again, pitches around it, catching a break that Fletcher was weak power, or he would have given up a 2-run homer, but he did not. So we go to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 1 apiece. And it's just pitching around your troubles is pretty much how they're making it. Witt coming back out, and he'll face the bottom of the order. But Mickey Tettleton will get his first at bat since coming in for the injured Steinbach. Tettleton hitting .220 on the replay, 9 homers, 20 driven in. He hit .194 real world. 4-10, switch hitter, and that's a strikeout again for Bobby Witt. Strikeout number 8 for Bobby Witt. Tettleton goes down on strikes, and here is Tony Phillips. 3-9 for Phillips, and that's a 1 for a single. Anything else he lines out to Jerry Brown at second, 2 down. And that sends us to Alfredo Griffin. 4-2, switch hitter, batting left is a ballpark single check. 1-3, that's a 2. It came up again with a low number, and Alfredo Griffin will reach on the single. Schizophrenic D20. Griffin, to get the lead, needs a 2 through 10. He's got the lead. He's going to go. He's a 15. He inhales a 13, but the +5's an 18. 1-18. And he's in there, barely, but he is in there. Stolen base for Alfredo Griffin. Let's see what that is on what he did on his replay and real world as far as stolen bases go. Griffin in the real season stole 26 bases, got caught 13 times. This is stolen base number 20 for Alfredo Griffin. He's only been caught 5 times. So Alfredo Griffin steals base number 20 on the season. Gets into scoring position with 2 outs, which can be big. Now it's a clutch situation for Luis Polonia. In the clutch for Polonia, he does lose a hit on 110. 6-3, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We are looking at Fletcher, 3E26 for Fletcher. 3-7. He's not holding anybody on, so 3-7 should be okay. And he is. It's a G3 pound, but he wasn't holding the runner at second on, so he's okay with that. 10, and that is an E26. It's short. Nope, no 10. There usually aren't that many 10s that are errors. So Fletcher makes the play, and Witt pitches out of the mess. So we played 5 here at Oakland Coliseum, and we're tied at a run apiece. Top of the 6th we go. we go. Both pitchers. I'm sorry. Young has a fatigue of 7. Witt has a fatigue of 6. Next inning, the bottom of the inning would be Witt's fatigue inning. But Kurt Young is okay to go. He'll be facing Parrish, who doubled his last time up. 2-6 to the lefty, struck him out. That's not that many strikeouts for Young. Only his second strikeout. He's gotten Parrish twice. Unable to get anybody else, but he has gotten Parrish twice. 2 strikeouts. Speaking of strikeouts, here comes Incaviglia. He's known for him. 3-6, but this time he's going to walk. So Incaviglia draws the base on balls. That's only the second walk issued by Young. Kept the walks and the strikeouts down a bit. Incaviglia needs a 6 to get the lead. Doesn't get the lead, he'll hold. And here comes O'Brien. 4-12 against the lefty. Ground ball pitcher B, and again, Incaviglia is going to have to hold. As Kurt Young just looks him back, throws to first for out number 2. It's now a clutch situation for Don Slaught. In the clutch, he loses that hit on a 110. That's 2, chance for a balk or pass ball. Balk chance on Kurt Young, it's only a 2. No balk. 6-4, and that's an in-home. That's a ballpark home run chance. Ballpark blast on a 6-4. It's a 1-5, but that's a 9. So Don Slaught, a deep fly to left, but not deep enough. Canseco on the track hauls it in, and Kurt Young will move on to the bottom of the 6th with his team still tied at 1 apiece. And this is the fatigue inning for Bobby Witt, so we'll keep an eye on him. Going to face Davis, Lansford, and McGuire. Part of the order. 2, 3, 4 hitters. 4-6. And that's another walk. Second time he's walked Davis. And that is the 3rd walk in the game for Bobby Witt. Davis needs a 2 through 5 to get the lead. Doesn't get it. He will hold. Here's Carney Lansford. Lansford is an A bunter if they choose to go that route and give McGuire and Canseco 2 chances to bring home runs. So they're gonna go for the bunt here. So let's see who's going to field it. It's a 6. So on the bunt chart. On the bunt chart, a 6 means it is the 3rd baseman, Buechele. He's an A bunter, but the corners are in, so we're right here in this B column. So 1-9, pretty good bunt. That's 9 around the number. It's a good sacrifice. So nicely done there by Carney Lansford. Sacrifice hit goes 5-4 with Brown covering first. If you're scoring at home, you know you should be. All right, here's Mark McGuire now. They got McGuire and Canseco up with a fast runner Davis at second and 2 chances to drive him home. First up is McGuire. 1-6, and well, he didn't need to bunt him to move him over. That's gone, as Mr. Guterman would say, clean as a baby's ass right there. Big and bold, uppercase letters, capital letters, whatever you want to call them. Right there, 1-6 home run, no doubter about it. Mark McGuire, 2-run home run for McGuire to give the A's a 3-1 lead for McGuire, home run number 22 on the replay. RBIs 48 and 49. He had, of course, 49 home runs in the real season. That's home run number 22. A's lead it 3-1. And here is Canseco. 4-8, and that's another walk for Bobby Witt, his fourth. And now Witt has reached fatigue. So Texas bullpen starting to stir. We'll see who they have available, who's rested, so forth. Let's go to their bullpen on the computer. And they have, let's see, they've got a couple of long relievers. They got Paul Kilgus and Mitch Williams are two lefties. And they've got Mahorsic, Loynd, and Russell from the right-hand side. So let's see who might be the most rested. Jeff Russell is loosening in the bullpen. Right now they're going to stick with Bobby Witt for a little bit longer, but Russell is there, and Russell is waiting. And actually, Valentine's going to the bullpen right now for Jeff Russell. They're actually not going to wait. With him being tired, they're not going to take a chance. So Russell it is. Russell is a +1 hold, so that makes him a +2. But they go to Jeff Russell out of the bullpen. He will be coming on. And we look at his real numbers versus replay. 5-4 with a 4.44 ERA and 3 saves in the real season. On the replays, 2-2, no saves, and a 5.91 earned run average. So Russell is up, and he'll be facing Hot Dog Jackson. But right now, Canseco needs a 6 to get the lead. Doesn't get it, so he'll hold. So here is Hot Dog Jackson. Witt's going to be credited with 5 1/3 innings, but we won't close the book yet because there's too many. Canseco's his responsibility. So here's Hot Dog Jackson. 1-7, and he strikes out. Out number 2. And that'll take us to Mickey Tettleton. .47 for Tettleton, switch hitter against Russell. Is a ground ball, second base X. Now, second baseman is Jerry Brown, 3E16. 3-12, he'll get to that. E16, and that is an 11. Second base. E16, no 11 there, so good play. Jerry Brown makes the play to end the inning, so we now can close the book on Mr. Witt. Witt's going to give up 3 runs, and he's going to give up just 4 hits. We know he struck out 8, and he walked 4. So we close the book on Bobby Witt, and he's in danger of dropping to 1-2 on the replay. But now Kurt Young's been given a lead. He has a chance to go 8-4 on the replay. This is his fatigue inning. Keep an eye on him. It'd be Brower, Buechele, and Brown due up. Killer bees, I guess you call them. 3 Bs in a row there. Killer bees. Top of the 7th. There will be a 7th inning stretch because I do need to heat my coffee. Brower. First time up, grounded to McGuire. 3-8 against the lefty, struck him out. Strikeout number 3 for Kurt Young. But that's not his game. His game is getting ground ball outs usually. And he's done that quite a bit in this game. Here's Buechele. In fact, very few flyouts. If we look at, he's gotten 3 flyouts. Everything else has been in the infield as far as outs go. 111, and that's when as soon as I say that, we get a fly to center field. 2 away. And that brings up Jerry Brown. 2 outs, bases cleared. 3-1 Oakland, top of the 7th. 110 against the lefty. That's a solid single for Jerry Brown. And he'll be looking to get a lead and try to get himself into scoring position with 2 outs, which would be big to do that. To get the lead needs a 2 or a 4 through 9. That's an 11. He gets picked off. Caught stealing, whatever you want to call it. We'll say caught stealing. How about that? So Brown caught stealing to end the inning. Trying to get in scoring position, but it backfired on him. Kurt Young will keep Endurance into the 8th inning. Right now, we go to the 7th inning stretch. Russell will come back out, and he'll be facing Phillips, Griffin, and Polonia when we return. Right now, time for me to heat up my coffee, refresh the coffee, and get ready for the final couple innings, barring extra innings, of course. And we're looking at Take Me Out to the Ball Game. All right, we are ready for the bottom of the 7th. Leading things off will be Tony Phillips. Phillips is lined to Jerry Brown twice. 4-9, switch hitter. That's a solid double for Tony Phillips off of Jeff Russell. Leadoff double. And yes, coffee is refreshed and warm. Didn't add any to it, but I did warm up what I had. So Phillips leadoff double. Alfredo Griffin the batter. Oh, re-roll that as that one got hung up in there. 2-10, and that is a ground ball to second. That'll get the runner to third. Pretty much just like a sacrifice, but it does cost him an at-bat. But he at least did his job. He got the runner over. That's the most important thing. And now the infield will have to come in for Texas. Down by 2. They don't want to give up any more. Polonia is your batter. And actually, Texas going to their bullpen. They're going to go to a lefty. They're going to the left-hander. And they're not going to mess around. They're going Mitch Williams. They don't want this lead to get any bigger than what it is right now. They need strikeouts, so they're going to a strikeout pitcher in Mitch Williams. So the wild thing, Mitch Williams is on, replacing Russell. Russell's going to go 1 inning, give up a hit, nothing else. He did get a strikeout, but he is responsible for Phillips at third base, so can't close the book on him yet. Mitch Williams, -6 hold, makes him -5. So lefty-lefty matchup. with Polonia and Mitch Williams. Polonia, let's see, does you might have Tony La Russa countering this. In fact, we will. He will go to a pinch hitter of his own, switch hitting Stan Javier, who's actually a better center fielder. So Javier will come in and pinch hit for Polonia and stay in the game to play center field. So he's going to pinch hit here in the 7th and play center field in the 8th. So Stan Javier, let's get the numbers on Javier, both on the real season and the replay. That leaves 2 infielders, Ron Say and Johnny LeMaster, are the 2 remaining on the bench for La Russa. Javier hitting 208 on the replay, 2 homers, 7 driven in. He hit 185 real world. Infield is in, of course, for Texas. Four 6 to the switch hitting right hand, struck him out. So Bobby Valentine makes the right move with the bringing in Williams to get that strikeout. It didn't matter who Oakland had, lefty or righty, it would have been a strikeout. And now here's Mike Davis. Lefty on lefty matchup for Davis. He's homered and walked twice. Clutch situation for Davis against the lefty. Loses a hit on 310. So that's a 2. That's a 6. That's bad. Don Slaught is a 16 pass ball rating. So all the work Mitch Williams did could be ruined by a 16 pass ball rating on Don Slaught. That's a 19. Slaught actually blocked it this time. What a miracle that was. All right, so Davis will have to earn it. 4-8, and he struck him out. So Mitch Williams comes in and strikes out both batters he faces. And Bobby Valentine pulled the right string there, gets him out of the jam. We go to the 8th. It's still 3-1. A little bit unorthodox bringing in your closer when you're behind in the 7th inning, but by doing so, he pretty much kept him in the game. So Javier now goes into center field. Kurt Young is back out, but the bullpen is loosening for Oakland. They have a good bullpen. So La Russa not afraid to go to that bullpen. See who's the most rested. Between their 2 closers, Eckersley and Howell, Eckersley has the most rest, so Dennis Eckersley is loosening in the bullpen. And, of course, in 1987, a 2-inning save is nothing. Not like today. So Dennis Eckersley, who's actually got a relief rating of 3, he is loosening in the bullpen in case Kurt Young gets into trouble. Right now he's going to face Fletcher, Sierra, and Parrish. 1-9 for Fletcher. That's a ground ball to short. 1 away. That'll send up Ruben Sierra. 4-8 for Sierra. That's a strikeout there. He is not tired, so the strikeout is still good. Strikeout number 4 for Kurt Young. 2 down, and here's Larry Parrish. $112 for Parrish. That's a Lomax plus injury. So now we got another guy that might be injured, the designated hitter, Larry Parrish, as he had the Lomax with the injury. And again, a 1-6. He can stay in the game. 7 or higher, he's out. 6, he stays in the game. So Parrish shakes it off, but Kurt Young, 8 innings pitched. And I think that's going to be it for him. They're going to go to Eckersley in the 9th. Try to wrap it up. So Kurt Young's going to go 8 innings, scatter 6 hits, give up the 1 run. The only run was the home run by Jerry Brown. He walks 2 and he strikes out 4. And he's in line to go to 8-4 on the replay. Now for Texas, I guess they'll stick with Mitch Williams. He's hot. Why not? He faced 2 batters, struck them both out. Now he's going to deal with Lansford, McGuire, and Canseco here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-9 for Lansford is a solid single. Leadoff single for Lansford. That'll bring up, let's see if Lansford can get a lead. He needs a 2 through 5 to get the lead. Doesn't get it, he'll hold. Here's Mark McGuire, homered his last time up. 2-8 for McGuire. This time, Mitch Williams strikes him out. 1 away, and that's going to send up Jose Canseco. He has struck out twice and walked. One 8 for Canseco, struck him out. 2 down. Hot Dog Jackson is your scheduled hitter, but he will be called back. And they will go to right-handed hitting Ron Say to be the pinch hitter and new designated hitter. So Ron Say will pinch hit for Hot Dog Jackson and take over as DH. Reggie doesn't like it, but that's just the way it is. Ron Say will get his numbers on the replay and in the real season. That leaves Johnny LeMaster, the only guy left on the bench. So for Say on the real season, he was a 221 hitter, 4 homers, 11 driven in. On the replay, 213 hitter, 5 homers, 9 driven in. But he is right-handed hitter against Williams, and Williams does have some ballpark things against him on the right-hand side of his card. 1-6, and that's a ground ball to second, and that will end the inning. So we go to the 9th inning, and it will bring about Mr. Eckersley to try to close the deal for Oakland. Eckersley get his numbers. On the real season, Dennis Eckersley, 6-8, 3.03 ERA, and 16 saves. On the replay for Eckersley, 4-3, a 2.06 ERA, and 11 saves. So he's done much better for himself. If we look at the Texas bench, if he wanted to do any pinch hitting, there are some options there, left-handed options. You do have Darryl Porter, Gino Petralli. They're both either left or switch. And they're going to pinch hit for Incaviglia. So they're going to go to the bench, Will Texas, and they will get a pinch hitter. And that pinch hitter is going to be Gino Petralli. Petralli, a 302 hitter in the 1987 season, much better than what Incaviglia was. So Petralli on the replay is hitting 282, a homer and 13 driven in. Again, a 302 hitter in the real season. So Petralli pinch hitting here in the 9th inning. And if they tie it and go extra or go to the bottom of the 9th, they could put Petralli in left, but there's probably a better option on the bench somewhere. They'll figure it out. Right now, they're worried about their offense. Eckersley against the switch hitting Gino Petralli. 5-8 switch hitter. That's a strikeout for Eckersley. And there's 1 away. So it didn't matter who you brought in because the right-hander would have struck out also. So Petralli out on strikes. Brings up Pete O'Brien. 4-9 for O'Brien. That's a split. 1-4 is a single. That's a 13. He lines it right to Tony Phillips, out number 2. Last chance for Texas is Don Slaught, but he'll be called back. And they will bring on Darryl Porter to hit for Don Slaught. Left-handed hitter, Darryl Porter will hit for Slaught. Let's get the numbers on Porter, as Bobby Valentine's trying everything he can to try to get some offense. Porter on the real season hit 238 with 7 homers and 21 driven in, but on the replay is hitting 354, with 7 homers and 11 driven in just 48 at bats. He's been a stalwart. See what he can do here against Eckersley. Hello, Robert. Yep, just in time for the final out, possible final out here. 2 outs, bases empty. Oakland leads at 3-1. Pinch hitter Darrell Porter trying to extend the game. 2-9, and he does not, as Eckersley struck him out. And there's your ball game. Oakland increases their lead in the American League West to continue their hot ways. They win it by the score of 3-1. Kurt Young gets the win, his 8th. Eckersley picks up save number 12. As he goes 1 inning, gives up nothing with 2 strikeouts. Mitch Williams goes, Mitch Williams, inning and 2/3 for him. He struck out 4, gave up a hit, nothing else. So we'll go to the box score, get the final results, put a wrap on this day in the June 20th schedule. And we'll get all the other particulars. For Oakland, 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. For Texas, 1 run, 6 hits, and no errors. The only run for Texas was a home run from Jerry Brown. Home runs, everything was a home run in this game. Davis had a solo shot in the first, and Mark McGwire a 2-run shot in the 6th. They accounted for all the runs. So home runs, Brown is 2nd, Davis is 14th, McGwire is 22nd. Both teams left 6 runners on base. Again, Witt drops to 1 and 2. Kurt Young goes to 8 and 4. Eckersley his 12th save. Player of the game? Could give it to McGwire. Could give it to Young. He pitched awful well. I guess we'll give it to Kurt Young. So we go to the standings as the June 20th date is complete. And we look at Oakland now. Oakland now leads California by 5.5. And Minnesota and Kansas City are 9 games back. Texas in last place, 14 games back. Look ahead to next week. Look at that Sunday schedule, June the 21st, and see what's on the agenda. Looks like there's a doubleheader in Oakland. That's interesting. Everybody else plays the same schedule that they've been doing. So the first game appears to be from Boston. It'll be the Yankees and the Red Sox on Monday morning. It'll be Bob Tewksbury for the Yankees against Roger Clemens for the Red Sox. That'll be Monday morning. Tuesday, we will be in Baltimore. It'll be Detroit and the Orioles. Dan Petrie against Ken Dixon. Wednesday, we will be in Toronto. And it'll be the Milwaukee Brewers against the Blue Jays. Not the best pitching matchup. Chuck Krim against Joe Johnson. Thursday, we'll be in Minnesota. It's the Chicago White Sox take on the Twins. Floyd Bannister against Frank Viola. Good matchup there. And then Friday, probably, I don't know where we're going to be. Might be in California because we didn't show that game. We didn't show Kansas City in California this week. So most likely we'll be in California for the Royals against the Angels, although not a good pitching matchup. Bob Stoddard for the Royals against Jerry Royce for the Angels. So that's the tentative schedule for next week. But what's not tentative is tomorrow at noon Eastern, roughly noon Eastern, the Fall Classic NBC Game of the Week, number 2, Baltimore Orioles, Milwaukee Brewers from Milwaukee, Fall Classic Baseball. And hopefully, since there's no computer issues for me anymore, that will go live now instead of that one I had to do Memorex last week. So we turn the page on this and go to Fall Classic for tomorrow, and then back to Strat-O-Matic on Monday. And that's going to do it from here. So I hope you all have a great weekend, whatever you have scheduled. And hope the weather's nice as well. I know the weather's nice here as far as it's a little cool, but it's supposed to warm up over the weekend. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, whatever you have planned. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play. however choose to play it, and I'll see you all down the road.